Welcome to the Copy Talk podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone. This is our summer series of Copy Talk. We're on show 72.
Yep.
We're changing things up a little bit today for the summer. Because summer, you need to change up routines. You need to kind of slow things down a little bit.
Agreed.
Get out of routines just to feel fresher and refreshed.
And
Summer's fun. I love the summer.
I think we both agree that this sounds more fun.
Yeah. So we'll try it.
We're still financially focused world. So it's not Copy Talk world. We're not.
Like I said, our tagline is empowerment and financially savvy.
So we're focusing on empowerment for a while, plus tack on a little financial savvy.
Yeah, so we'll have different summer segments throughout the summer in each show. They'll be new and fresh and relevant.
Well, and
to
just
our
a side
lives.
note to everybody out there, Shannon, before we started taping, has told me that I am far too hyped this morning.
I was like, whoo, you're on like speed 90. I'm still like, I'm speed 60.
I've had...
we need that energy.
I've had zero caffeine.
I know.
Which is shocking.
Well,
I shouldn't say zero, but it's like minuscule. I did not drink any coffee.
Well, you have a super healthy regiment, which is one of the segments we're going to get to today.
We are.
So one of the reasons why we wanted to change things up is, we talk about serious issues, which we still will, but I think because they're getting so serious, we want to start to balance it out with some happy things of life and like lighter things of life.
Yeah.
And, we have our beauty queen here that has so many different
Can we like cut and
knowledge bases that are important and fun, like beauty and health. And I mean, you know more about certain things than I've never even heard of. Health and wellness. So we're going to incorporate more into the show because that can help everybody. It just can.
I agree. Well, and I brought it does. Well, if people should. I mean, it's good to focus on, especially health. I brought something today.
Totally. So this will be just kind of a fun new
vibe.
vibe.
Before we get there,
do
you have anything fun come up?
Well, we celebrated the first win of the Stanley Cup Series of the
we
Colorado
did.
Avalanche.
Avs.
Ryan was at the game, so he's still a little sleepy.
Now.
He's like at a speed 30. I'm at 60 and you're at 90. Where are you at, Kelly?
I think I'm at a 120. Solid 120.
Got back from vacation.
Oh, that's right. Kelly's refreshed.
So that's exciting. But
what?
Do you know what the Stanley Cup is doing to my Chris Stapleton concert tickets?
What about my Chris Stapleton concert tickets?
Mine got moved. Yours is not.
Woohoo!
So they're changing the Friday night concert to Sunday night.
Ew.
So now I'm going Sunday night and Saturday night is the same.
Can you exchange them for Saturday night
No,
tickets?
They didn't even send out an email. I had to read it like in the paper or like on
They
online
didn't send
paper.
you like a Ticketmaster update?
No.
I'm
So I'm
sorry for
I mean,
you.
they just made this change last night. So I'm sure they will. But like I went into my Ticketmaster app to look and it's this Sunday.
Didn't they think of that when they made...
I love how you're looking at
help
Ryan.
us, Ryan, ballerina man.
It just depended on how Tampa did against New York, because if Tampa were to have lost to New York in Game 6, this series with the Avs would not have started till this Saturday.
That's true.
So that would have affected
things.
your show and maybe not yours.
Interesting.
Well, thank you, Tampa Bay, for
I mean, good for Chris Stapleton. I mean, that's a lot to reschedule. I'm sure because he's really back to back. So it really inconveniences him more so than us.
I'll let you know.
But I'm excited. At least they didn't cancel it or move it to, October or something like that.
That's true.
So, because I just bought a sweet Johnny Cash t-shirt to wear to it. Like I have my outfit planned. I'm all ready.
I have my outfit planned. I'm ready.
So.
Well, now I bought tickets back in 2019 before COVID. So I've been waiting a long time for this concert. And then when you bought tickets for Friday night, because you're going with Justin, I'm going with a group of girlfriends on Saturday. And I was like, you're going to see it before me? So I'll let you know.
He's on our bucket list to see. He's awesome.
Oh,
he's amazing.
So excited about the concert.
So excited too.
I've had my outfit planned for weeks. And it's super cute. And it's the boots that you bought me.
I know.
Boots you bought me.
That's
Okay, anyways, moving on.
So that's fun.
I know.
I think that those are the main
Well,
items.
you're going to Rockies game today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I am. I'm headed to a baseball game.
This afternoon.
All the things in Denver.
Yeah.
Embracing for the summer.
Yeah.
I invited you, but you said no. So, whatever. Anyway.
Gas is expensive.
You brought an oldie but a goodie hat.
I did. This is actually my favorite hat of all time. Hence why it's extremely dirty. Yes. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see
it's got a little grunge on it.
I cannot wash hats. I will not wash hats. I will wash beanies, but not hats. You get them broken in. Nobody else I've ever seen in a hat in this room. Well, you. See, once you break a hat in, you just
remember
can't.
Like dudes from high school who wore hats for like 4 years and like they were the nastiest things. That's not that quite there yet, but
that's what it reminds that old. So I love this hat. I refuse to wash it. If it was stark white, it wouldn't be the same. Yes, I did break an oldie but goodie today.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And I finally got to meet your new horse last night,
Henry.
He likes his butt scratched, which is funny. By fences or April. April will just sit there and scratch his butt.
Both sides of his butt for as long as he wants.
You're his favorite.
What's better than him breaking my fence and scratching it against that?
I know. But I love your little farm. It's getting more and more active.
I just need to add more animals to it.
I know.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Okay. What are we kicking off with? Because we're reformatting.
I know. Should we do the good news or bad news first?
So I have... We're rolling with this on air on how we're going to do this. I have an idea. I think I should start off with this.
Okay.
Then you go financial.
Okay.
And I'm going to end with a happy,
I love it. It's like a sandwich. It's like some positivity,
sandwich.
some realism, and some positivity.
Which is pretty much we'll do that
me
and you.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So.
Educate us.
All right. So.
Health and wellness.
Health and wellness. You only got one bod. You got to do the best you can to take care of it. So I'm looking out for you. I have a tip. Kelly's laughing at me. Okay, so if you're listening to us, you can't see this, but by the way, I'm not a licensed professional. Anything that you
you need to run past your doctor. Someone thinks I'm an expert.
I'm not a funny.
You're just giving your opinion of what your life.
I am, but
what you're doing in your life,
everything. So I'm just laying that out there. Okay,
I'm sure that disclosure will save you.
I know. Ryan, we may have to add another disclosure. I know. He was coming with it. All right.
You'll be fine.
He's going to look out for us. Okay, so there's been a spike in COVID. We all know that.
I had COVID a month ago while I was on vacation, like the first 7 days.
And I was around you again.
Yes, you were.
But didn't get it. Nope. Okay. So, not that this is a pitch for anything against COVID. I'm not saying it's going to fight COVID. I'm just saying litigious people are out there.
You are the only person I know who hasn't had it.
And been exposed at least 20 times that I know.
At least twice, because I've had it twice. Your son has had it twice.
Okay. So I take a shot of this every day. Now, it does taste and smell pretty much like dirt. I do, which means it's good for you.
Yeah.
But so this is called Your Super. By the way, I do not get a kickback from this company.
Wow, she's talking to an attorney today.
They're not paying me to do this. This is just to help all you Copy Talk world out there. Okay, Super Green. I take it with 4 ounces of water, but I'm going to focus on the ingredients because you can mix it. And what's great about Your Super is you can mix it. They will tell you how to blend it, give you recipes. You can add it to food. It's great. And so you get wheatgrass, barley grass, moringa, baobab, spirulina, and chlorella.
It's another way to get greens into your diet.
It is, but specifically wheatgrass has, listen to this, it can help improve the immune system, skin health, antioxidant effects, stimulate circulation, cleansing and detoxification, antiseptic properties, aids digestions, promote anti-aging, pain relief, anti-inflammatory, lower cholesterol, blood builder, and enhances fat metabolism to reduce weight. That's just the benefits of wheatgrass. So other ingredients in here help fight against different cancers, neurodegenerative diseases, etc.
And they have a full product line. I mean, I don't really like anything but that one. I've tried others and I'm like, I know you do a lot
I do a lot of them,
but
I do.
And I think the couple who founded it, it was a wife and a husband, and the husband was recovering from cancer.
He was diagnosed with cancer at 24. And so she started making all of her to help him heal and get healthier, making a bunch of, she went and bought a ton of these superfoods because wheatgrass is also superfood, and started making these mixes for him. And anyways, he's a cancer survivor, doing great. But these in particular, a lot of them help boost immunity. So I take this in like 4 ounces of water every day. I swear by this. I swear by I love the whole line, but this one specifically, this is like a staple. I do not stay without Super Green all the time.
I mix that with my protein powder and it's pretty good. I mean, it's not tastes good, but it's all the things at once.
Well, and what's great about these is that you can, like on the back, it'll tell you what else you can mix. I can drink dirt. If I know it's good for me, I can put it in 4 ounces of water, shoot it.
But we did have a friend once who thought it'd be a brainiac idea to start to eat wheatgrass.
Who was
Bobby, well, I won't say his full name, but our friend Bobby.
That's right.
And so we're like, I don't think you can do that. It wasn't successful.
Well, you can.
You can, but it's eating grass. So now he just
I think for a while, places like Whole Foods, I don't know about that. You could buy whole wheatgrass shots and put them in your refrigerator.
Yep.
Ew.
Yeah, so this powder is super
This doesn't get like grass stuck in your teeth either.
And it's fairly reasonable. So
and it is fairly. I mean, this is like $24.95. This canister, and this lasts me a really long time because you only do a teaspoon at a time. So imagine how long that lasts. I'm a big fan of this. And
what other ones do you use? You said Mellow Yellow, which is like a big turmeric one.
So it's got turmeric, ashwagandha, lucuma pepper, ginger, and one other.
Ashwagandha you see everywhere.
I do not. Yeah, Golden Mellow's in my diet every single day. They're actually reformulating it. I'm very. They're putting holy basil in it instead of ashwagandha. A little sad about that, but I'm sure it's going to be great. But this Super Green and Yellow Mellow, I do not miss. But I think Super Green is the most advantageous.
And they have like a collagen one, and then they have one that, oh my gosh, I tried it and it tastes like vomit. Like I could not get it down. I think it was the Forever Young one or something
Forever
like that.
Beautiful. So that's like loaded with antioxidants. You add that to oatmeal. No. Plant collagen is out. The plant collagen one you can make, but again, you blend them.
Collagen is another, I think, buzz thing out there.
It's a buzzword.
Like everyone's now, have collagen powder,
and we'll do a collagen in a different show.
Okay,
yeah,
because you research all the things. I mean, the woman knows more about health products and beauty products,
skincare.
So
specifically, yes.
Well,
you only got one mug either.
I know. Well, it's working. I mean, April has like one kidney. She's a cancer survivor. She has all this stuff.
Okay, and by the way, I was born with one kidney. That wasn't my cancer. I was just lucky to only get one.
But you're always healthy. Well,
Yeah. And not superstitious, by the way. But
so
I mean,
you take a lot of things. I mean, your whole kitchen counter is like all these different tincture powders and liquids, and
I know
it's like a chemistry lab.
I know. Well, and throughout this, I'll bring some of those. But this one I wanted to highlight: Super Green, Your Super, specifically wheatgrass. Look it up. And chlorella and spirulina have so many great qualities.
You know what? The beauty product I want on the docket soon is your like gold under eye things.
Okay, I'm bringing that next week.
Oh, yeah, well, I said that. Week.
Okay, I know, but you can't give it away on the show.
I won't tell them what it is, but I see them more places. But so because we're doing beauty and wellness, I am going to disclose a couple things. So when we go on our besties trip, to get ready, our ready times are not very equal, and so April takes like 2.5.
Well, that's
hours
if I'm washing my hair
to get ready.
Yeah.
But her regime is amazing. So it's so fun to just watch because there's so many steps and things like you love. And I'm like, okay, call me and I'm gonna go to the pool and get lunch and call me when you're 25 minutes from being ready. Because it takes me 25 minutes. But that's when you get this and I get this. So it's different because again, you are
today only took me a half hour. Let me just lay the disclaimer that it doesn't take me 2 hours to get ready every single time. That's if I wash my hair. But I'm very regimented.
You are.
Yes, in my skincare, every single step, I do not miss a step.
Yes.
Hyaluronic acid.
And you take little breaks.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a hustler in the morning unless I have podcasts to get to.
Yeah.
And thank God I can wear a ball cap.
Yeah.
But yes, I do. I'm very structured.
So this is how you know so many things of it's been years of this.
Well, it matters what you put on your face.
Totally.
And what it's made out of.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a total freak for those out there. They're like, oh, she's one of those. I'm really not one of those.
But everyone at Sephora does know you on a first name basis.
Not everybody.
If they're new. If they've been there longer than a week.
That's where I get my gold pads.
I know. So these are going to be fun segments because you really do have a wealth of knowledge that I'm excited to learn.
Well, we'll focus more on the because side of it too, because not everybody gives a snap about skincare.
Yeah, it was on our bestie trip. So my makeup bag has basically the same makeup I wore in high school. It's full of CoverGirl and what I was using for primer made her horrified. I mean, it is no, it wasn't. It's not even a primer so it was funny. So we went to Sephora together on our besties trip and because we had time on our side.
And I just grabbed you a basket and started throwing stuff
a few $100 later, I'm like, okay, now, but I have to take notes of what are the steps and which one do I use first? And but I do like it. I've used most of the stuff daily.
Yeah.
So
you're selling me out on the show to make me sound like a total.
No, I'm not.
I really am not vain.
I'm giving you credibility.
No, you should. Yeah,
you're an expert in this.
It matters.
And you get compliments everywhere we go. I mean, everyone compliments how you look and like your eyeshadow and all the things. Like it's you're a professional. I'm giving you a compliment.
I know. You're very sweet. Thank you. I don't like to be talked about. So
I know.
I'm like,
but you're
so
here.
next.
So I'm not talking about you.
That's
I'm
true.
Well,
I meant, that's true. But I meant, I don't like, yeah. So wheatgrass. No, I'm kidding. All right. So that's my wellness
fun.
plug this week.
That's fun. So the financial savvy segment that we have today, and it won't take long, but it is in our faces every day. I just paid, almost $6 a gallon for gas last night.
Yes.
So, it was $102 to fill my tank.
Wait.
Yes.
Are we in a bear? Isn't that what they said?
2 consecutive months. May recovered some of it. So I think technically not yet, but I think that it's inevitable. I think what you're going to hear more of is kind of more recession talk. So what I wanted to make sure we covered today, at least for a few minutes, is how to kind of recession proof your finances. Because I think one of the things that I'm really passionate on the show, and we've done a really good job at this, is giving people a heads up before it gets here. So it's like almost like, when the alarm goes off that a tsunami is coming, you kind of have to get out of the way and get ready first, and then the tsunami comes. So this is that warning for all of us out there. Because of all the economic spending, whenever there's that much spending, which then triggers inflation and tightening of Fed policy, and they just hit a huge uptick yesterday with announcing they made the largest increase since 1994.
Was it the 0.75?
It was.
Okay.
Yep. So we will see interest rates go even higher because they're trying to be very, very aggressive in terms of tackling inflation by the end of the year. So in the meantime, yes.
Here's my question for you.
Yes.
Because here's what I don't understand. Yes, we're tackling inflation, but also we are having, correct me if I'm wrong, keep me honest, aren't they also having to raise these interest rates because all of this money was flooded into different various stimulus programs during the pandemic. And so because of all the spending, because again, what's free is never really free, we have to make that up, right? So on the same day I heard about this potential, now I know it's happened, the 0.75 percentage point hike. On the very same day, in the headline above it was stimulus checks to go out to da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Again, I'm all for. I love it for the people that it's helping.
It's tricky because you're creating more problems long term with more stimulus going out.
Can't gas their
but
cars
honestly,
up.
There's short term problems. So it's a very interesting and problematic time because there's no right answer. Like there's going to have to be multiple things, and it's going to take some time for all of this to settle down. I think the next 6 months are going to be quite bumpy because you have the stock market reacting, which even if you're not invested in the stock market, how it still impacts you is every single company that you have that you use their products at home with fuel prices and stock plummets, their P&Ls, profit and loss statements, they're being impacted. So they pass on those costs to you as a consumer. So even if you don't have a dime in the stock market, you're going to notice that every single product is increasing, which you're already noticing that. Groceries. But now it's going to have two reasons why, not just fuel prices, but also their lower economic forecasts. So like I said, there's some things that we can do now before this real tsunami hits, because right now everyone's balance sheet, everyone's bank account is okay because of the stimulus money. And because interest rates have been historically low. What you're going to see in the next 6 months and 6 to 18 months is that this is going to get eroded by these higher costs a little over time, where people, that are certainly retired, if they see a 20 to 30% correction, we're already at about 22%. If they see further correction, then they don't have the nest egg that they had. Those who aren't retired, just your daily budget, monthly budget is going to increase probably by 10, 20%. So everyone, if you have a good savings account, that's great. But really what you number one want to get a control of now is spending. Don't spend like the next stimulus check is coming. Don't spend like nothing's going to change, because you are going to see things change. And again, this is not a fear-based show. This is a knowledge-based show. This is an empowerment-based show. So, if you don't need a new car, certainly don't get a new car, because in anything with high interest rates, stay away from for the next 18 months, because you're going to pay, a third, a half more just because of the timing of it. If you're planning this amazing vacation for $15,000, go in your state. You know what I mean? Like if there's ways to cut,
stay stateside.
Stay stateside. Yeah, staycations are great, but that can still be fun and give you life and recharge your batteries. But if you can save on the big ticket items that are more wants, not needs, you're going to be very thankful you did about 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Because this is a slow burn. Like this is a slow erosion, but it's not going to let up anytime soon.
Right.
So you have to have the longevity built in your emergency fund accounts, in your bank accounts, trying to consolidate as much high interest debt as possible. So, if you have a lot of car loans or student loans or HELOCs out there, home equity lines of credit that are very high and adjustable, is there a way to kind of consolidate and go to a lower interest loan? Or is there a way that you have a little cash, you pay off the high interest stuff and just kind of sit tight and tread water for a little bit?
And again, whatever you can move to zero balance cards, because there are still some out there.
That's right.
You can do that.
Exactly. So it's a good time to look at your budget. It's a good time to really calculate your essential monthly expenses. Even so, if we're not there yet, to know like, okay, here's like phase 3, 2, and 1. Here's phase 3 expenses that, I can cut if I absolutely have to. Here's phase 2. Here's phase 1. Like to really know like, okay, what are my core needs? Rent, groceries, healthcare. What are the nice to haves that I can, kind of still contribute to? And then what is the fluff I can just eliminate now? Do I really need Netflix and Hulu? Do I really need, like all these different subscriptions? I mean, we can each look at our credit card bill and see different subscriptions of like, do I really need that? Do I really need that?
Well, and some of it though, just if you've researched it out there, and I don't, yes, there are tons of subscriptions, but we got rid of cable and kept some of our key subscriptions, but we're saving like $250 a month.
Can I go to a different cell phone company? Can I go to, like these kind of things where it's not so much you're going to go out without a cell phone, but there's different offerings out there that maybe weren't available 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, I know for our family, because we have multiple kids who have phones at this point because they're driving, but that's a place to immediately cut, I think. So, some other tips are, we've talked a lot about on this show to build an emergency fund. That is going to be even more critical because that can kind of help float to the slow burn I'm talking about. So make sure you have those emergency funds and contributing to them if you haven't already done so. Don't stop networking. Like I think this is going to be key. And I've noticed this even within my own community. It's so important to have people in your lives that are also successful and who are so building businesses and who know a lot of people in different industries because you just never know. And we've seen this through COVID. No one really know who is going to survive and who wasn't.
Right.
So, but if you continue to build your network of people in the professional realm, you're always going to have like, hey, I'm looking for something. Do you know of anything? If you do, the bigger your network is, the more possibilities are open to you.
Yeah.
And that's going to be needed because some of these companies in 18 months are not going to be able to do business the way they've always done it because there's not going to be another round of PPP loans to bail out businesses. There's not going to be, the stimulus checks that they were getting. And these fuel prices, I mean, for the transportation industry, and what we're seeing is transportation affects all of us in our everyday lives because everything that needs to move is increasing.
Right.
And that's everything that's in our pantry and, in our closets and all of those things.
Well, another reason to try to stay close to home if you're planning a vacation, airline tickets. I mean, so gas to drive somewhere is expensive, but airline tickets are off the charts.
Absolutely.
Because obviously fuel's up. So
one of the things we did this summer, like any trip we're going to take is going to be driving.
Yeah.
And, we normally love, time at the beach. Well, we're not doing that. We're staying in the in Colorado this year, in the West, because again, how can we save a little bit here and there where we're still not, I'm not putting panic in folks, but it's time to be really mindful of like, how can we shave a little here, a little there? Is it time to start a side hustle? Like, is there anything that can give you a little bit more cash to pad those savings account? Now's the time to do that. To reassess, like so many people go on credit cards because they don't want to live in their means. Now's the time to live in your means. If that means you can't go to every single bar invite your friends give you, that's okay. Like at different ages, that's kind of what you spend money on is either, food or beverages or going out to eat or what have you. Some other things is start to educate yourself on finances. So if you have savings, if you are in investments, there are still going to be some opportunities. Some people who have done, we have some big savers out there. Those that are saving a lot, it's a great time to enter the stock market in a diversified way because you're buying stocks while they're on sale. Correction times are a great time to add a little bit every month of the same amount. It's called dollar cost averaging. So that's what I've started to do as well is, I've started to kind of uptick. Okay, I want to add this amount of money every single month as long as I can, because when this rebounds, and it's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. When it rebounds, I'm saving 25% now where I'll make it up in the long term. The stock market is meant for the long-term game, not the short-term play. So if you have any extras and you've been thinking about investing or you want to continue to tick up your investing accounts, you can do that because now's a good opportunity to do that. But you need to make sure you're diversified because what we're seeing right now is there's 8 sectors in the market, kind of 8, think of like vertical markets of different business industries. 5 out of the 8 are positive, but the 3 that are negative right now are really pulling everything down because it's big silos like tech is the biggest one. So you need to make sure that you're kind of aligned across all 8 to be able to, so when someone's up, another's down, and and you can kind of balance on this tightrope, if you will, for the next 18 months. We made this joke. So now it's 2 more tips is look to barter,
do you have any sugar?
There's some kind of trade of services out there sometimes with your friends or people and if you're in a trade industry that you can start to say, hey, farmers do this all the time and they've really, invented this and it goes back to our start of our
I want to build a greenhouse.
So like if there's a way to kind of free trade on what you need and what your friend needs, how you can do that. And then just identify support systems. So even if you don't need them now, it's just good to know, okay, if I ever needed a state assistance program, where would I go to get it? What's offered in my state? Just because we just don't know how bad this is going to get, for how long. And so if we can do some just preparatory things, that way when they happen, you don't have to panic. You're not going to be in the long lines with everybody else who just chooses to put their head in the sand. There's if you prepare yourself as best you can, then it just takes the anxiety out of it, some of it. It just takes the fear out of it. And
you do feel empowered if you're taking some control over what you're doing now to prepare for however low this may go.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and again, it'll be impactful. It already is. So we're not saying anything new, but it's because you have all of these things coming at once. And the war in Ukraine and gas prices and inflation and the Fed tightening their monetary policy, all of these things that we used to think were way out there. Like that doesn't impact us. Like that's whatever. What do I have to do with if the Fed wants to get rid of $95 billion off their balance sheet every month? How does that impact me? Right. Well, it impacts you on your interest rates and on your cost of living. Yeah. And so nobody
will be untouched by this.
No one will be untouched. I mean, everyone, needs gas.
Everybody has to put gas in the tank.
And if you have an electric car, guess what? Your utility bills are probably still going to go up. So again, everywhere we look, is just, so how can we shave? How can we tighten things up? How can we just prepare so that we can last the long haul? So
I wonder what side hustle I could start out of my barn. That's my happiest place on earth. I mean, some people love Disney. I love my barn. I mean, I know we just talked about like skincare.
Maybe you can open your bar and tavern again.
But I would rather be in my Carhartts and my muck boots shoveling.
It's like goat yoga, but like they get to pet donkeys and have a glass of wine. Like that's therapeutic.
Well, and I heard there's a beverage burro service out there. I happen to have 2 burros, minis, but I think they'd be too scared.
Get a couple goats, do yoga,
I know.
Whatever.
I need to. Well, so you're telling me to go spend money,
or barter a goat for like. Something.
I want to build a greenhouse, which would be way too expensive right now, because then I can grow my own veggies, and then I can. And that could be a side hustle.
It's time to get creative.
I know. I love being in my barn. I got to figure out a way. Something. Yep. Okay.
So those are the tips.
Doom and gloom. But we're going to close.
I like it. We're closing with some good news.
Not that you're doom and gloom. I didn't mean it that way.
It's heavy. I mean, it's. I'm in this industry.
You're giving
us
I try
not to spend too much time on it, or I found myself getting like depressed, and just kind of discouraged. But I know that if we're doing the right things, we're doing the best we can.
You'll feel better.
That's all you
run.
Can do.
Yeah.
Just do the best you can, and it will work out. It's just you need to be wise about it. Wisdom.
For sure.
It's very helpful.
But because we're hearing a lot about this and you're bringing all the knowledge, we're going to close the show with a fun little factoid. There's tons of, bad news out there. Sure. Not particularly this. I'm saying all the news. Like,
yeah.
All the headlines are negative. But you know what? We don't want to do that.
No.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
And this somewhat has to do with money. All right. Lost Renaissance masterpiece discovered in a bungalow sells in London. Are you ready? This is a great story. I mean, these people really made it. All right. A lost painting attributed to a follower of an Italian Renaissance painter. I'm not even going to try to say it. Was found in a 90-year-old something Lippy, doesn't matter. Found in a bungalow and sold for 255,000 euros, which is $321,000. This was hanging in her bedroom, so she needs to go into assisted living home, and the bills were like racking up. I'm just going to consolidate the story. We're like racking up, and so which is hard, especially right now, to pay for assisted living. And so her kids go into her house thinking we could do like an estate sale and get some money. They go into her bedroom and they find this painting. She inherited it from her dad when she was like 10 or something like that. It's been hanging in her home, and it is $320,000. So now they have plenty of money to take care of mom in the assisted living home.
Well, side hustle. Hello, go scope out your parents' home or your grandparents' home for potential gold
That's what
mines.
I'm teaching you. Go
or flea markets. I mean, how many times do you find like people discover things at flea markets and they buy it for like $5 and it's worth like a couple grand.
And this painting is a depiction of the Madonna and Child. So it's basically Mary with baby Jesus. It's really not that. It's kind of scary looking, but it's got two angels. I don't
know.
But whatever. It sold for $320. I mean, I wouldn't spend $320,000.
But someone likes it.
Yeah. So I thought that's a pretty good story,
and
right?
I love those stories of like families struggling and they find this like golden egg.
Yeah.
One of the articles I was reading this week, because this has to do with your beloved Stranger Things, which I totally had to binge another 3 episodes, stayed up way too late Wednesday night, just so I wouldn't have to hear it, that I have to catch up. But Kate Bush, who sings the amazing song Running Up the Hill. Yes. So so this song is #1 on the charts right now, obviously. Mm-hmm. And it's from mid 80s. Mm-hmm. So she's obviously not put out any music. She was actually quite destitute at this point in time. And then her song hits Stranger Things and like has totally resurrected her life. Yeah. I love that.
I've been meaning to download it because I like it. And you've gotten to the part of Victor Creel, right?
I did.
Factoid. Victor Creel in Stranger Things season 4 is the same man who played Freddy Krueger,
which we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. I know. That last week that we brought up Freddy Krueger?
And there was a headline this week also. They're like, okay, Top Gun's #1 at the box office. Running Up the Hill is #1 on the music charts. We're at odds with Russia. It really is 1986 all over again.
Oh my gosh.
So it's odd. It's crazy.
It is.
So,
yeah.
Well, I like the 86. I like 86.
I think that's why we love Stranger Things. Yeah. Okay, last little fun factoid, because I know we got to go. Yes. But I'm looking out for you beer drinkers out there. Okay, you ready?
I am not.
For those of you who want to go back to school, and if you live in Washington, listen up, Washington. Eastern Washington University has. You laughing at me? Everybody needs to go back and learn some things. And if you're a craft beer fan, I got you. Okay, I got you.
You're an eyeliner. Let's go.
Eastern Washington University is teaming up with a local brewery in Spokane, Washington. And for the first time, they are offering a certificate program in like the craft beer industry from their university.
Start a brewery in your barn.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be amazing? People would come for that.
Because I know a lot about starting a brewery. And I'm pretty sure
you can find someone
that there's
barter with them. Find a brewmaster, and you can offer the barn, and it's a beautiful.
Maybe if CSU would offer a certificate program in craft beer, I could learn something. But I'm not really a craft beer person, although I'd like to try. But I was just looking. I saw that story and thought, hey. They're the first university to offer it.
That's kind of cool.
So go get you some in Spokane, Washington. Get you a craft beer certificate.
It's only a matter of time that it goes national.
All right, where can they find us? I asked you first.
Oh, I love it. I can spin it off. You all can find us at copytalkpodcast.com. You can find us at Copy Talk Podcast on Instagram or on Facebook, and our favorite one is on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So please subscribe, join, share it to friends, especially our last series, our mental health series, like we said, is up about tenfold, just because and even talking to like relatives and friends, they really were touched by that series, and it helped them a lot. And they're like, oh, I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times to take notes. So
if you haven't listened, go back.
If you haven't listened, go back to our last 4 shows because they really are informative. So going forward, we're going to bring these kind of informative chunks along the way and kind of go all over the map. But we promise a good time.
And check out your super greens.
That's
Wheatgrass.
Right.
Get it.
Have a great week, everybody.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.